Hey guys, welcome to a very long time in coming monthly favorites. Here are my favorites for this month. Alright, so I know I've not done this in a while. 2022 has been really crazy. Like really crazy. I started a new live streaming business, Kaki Live. On top of that, I took part in netball. There's like a national league. It's back once again because post-COVID. And then I've just been traveling like crazy. I've gone to Italy 3 times. I've gone to Australia. I feel like, yeah, I'm like all over the place. No excuses. I'm not even gonna try to do my favorites for the whole year, but I'm just gonna pick up where I left off. Right, so one interesting thing that I actually managed to do was to catch a movie. And by the way, if you're wondering why my voice sounds weird, I've been battling this forever sore throat for like the longest time. So yeah, you're gonna get that sexy voice until I get this fixed. Gonna see an ENT, hopefully get it fixed, okay, because this can't go on. Right, so back to what I was saying, I actually watched this movie. And the reason why I actually managed to watch a movie was because it's a movie that I really wanted to watch, so I made sure to really make time for it, and that's Elvis. Okay, so Elvis is one of my heroes growing up. I used to listen to Elvis on the radio with my grandmother, and my mom used to call him Elvis the Pelvis. I was like, what? I never knew understood what that meant. So I grew up listening to Elvis songs, and I remember as a child, I don't know how I came across, or I really wanted to get my hands on an Elvis like CD. Now, Elvis wasn't one of my grandmother's favorites. Like, I think she preferred people like Cliff Richard, Engelbert Humperdinck, but she definitely listened to Elvis as well. But I think it sparked the interest. But for me, I think in my family, probably for some reason, I became a huge fan of Elvis, and I bought his #1 hits album later on when I was older, the one that's like golden colored. I've read a little bit about his life here and there, but never gone really in depth. So when I found out that there was gonna be a movie, I definitely wanted to watch that. Now guys, even if you're not an Elvis fan, this was an amazing watch. If you're a music fan in general, but maybe not a huge fan of Elvis, I would say this is a must watch, but I would say a must watch for anyone. It is directed by the same guy who directed Moulin Rouge. That's Lerman, I think. And I'm not like one of those people who follows directors or producers, but I have to say this guy and his style is very my vibe, meaning he's very ostentatious. He doesn't cut corners, try to do things simply. Everything is very beautiful, very cinematic, and very like more is more, right? In terms of the colors, the sounds. I feel like, at least watching a few of his shows, the ones that he's done to do with music, he's a very musical kind of guy, so he really picks music that supports the show, and the soundtrack is as awesome as the show itself. Alright, so the soundtrack, not all Elvis tracks. Of course, the Elvis tracks are really cool. Some have been remastered. You see Elvis from when he was a boy. Cool, but also very sad, as is the case with not just performing artists, but artists and celebrities in general. A bit of a sad story where you realize that, I don't know, I guess for Elvis, I got the sense that he was always seeking. I think there was one very poignant line in the show. I don't know whether this was directly from Elvis or like a creative, like put in creatively by the writers or the director, where he said, like, I feel like I've never really achieved anything in life, right? Which is, I don't know, I kind of got goosebumps at that line, because I feel like, dude, you have given music so much, and so many artists today are inspired by you, and I mean, on top of the fact that he's had like so many #1 hits, right? But he still feels like he's not achieved anything in life. That was quite sad, and made me want to look at my life as well, to think that sometimes, I guess, I mean, to put a positive psychology spin on this, it's not about how much you achieve in terms of what the world feels you have achieved, but if you don't feel that you've achieved anything, then I guess you will never be truly happy. So it's really invited me to remind myself to take a perspective shift, and especially since life has been so crazy, to slow down and kind of look back on what I've done, feel proud of what I've done, and feel happy in my life and everything that I have. Not just that I've done, but also everything that I have. Yeah, a little bit philosophical, but go watch it. Okay, Elvis, the movie. Awesome. Alright, that was quite a lot about Elvis. I'm back with, to show you, this is something that I've been using a lot of. I discovered this, I think, during circuit breaker, and then now I've more or less kind of stopped using foundations. I just use this CC Screen by Supergroup. This is not sponsored. Right, Supergoop, if you want to sponsor me, I'm so happy to work with you. I love all your products. Alright, this is SPF 50 and it's a broad spectrum sunscreen, PA++++. Alright, it is like, I like it because it's safe for the environment, it's reef safe. Some ingredients in sunscreen is actually really bad for the ocean because it's toxic when they release it to the water or something like that. So this is actually marine safe. It's also non-irritating, no synthetic fragrances, it's vegan as well, and it's 100% mineral. Alright, so mineral sunscreen, mineral versus chemical, just a quick explanation in case you guys don't know. Mineral sunscreen is the kind that you put on your skin and it literally is like a shield from the sun. Okay, chemical sunscreen, you put it on your skin and it goes into your skin. The chemicals are what help to make the sun's rays not harmful for your skin, in the most layman terms. Now, I know everyone has their favorites, I use both, but I do find the mineral is less irritating on my sensitive skin and makes me break out less prone to breaking out. So for me, I prefer mineral sunscreen. If you have sensitive skin, definitely go for a mineral sunscreen. Right, so what I really like is that it is kind of like skincare meets makeup kind of look because it's tinted. Okay, let me show you the texture. So it's kind of tinted, right? But then when you rub it in, it rubs in to a really natural finish. So this is the first monthly favorites I'm filming without any makeup on, as in meaning any makeup base on. I'm only using this. I'm not using any sort of foundation. I don't know how it looks on camera. I use this for live streams a lot. I started using this during circuit breaker because I didn't want to put on makeup at home. And after that, I just got very lazy to use foundation. And when I was traveling in Europe for work on Kaki Live, especially in the winter time, my skin would be so dry. This was the only thing that made it not look flaky. So I used to put like a pressed powder over, but I've stopped doing that also because I feel like it looks quite nice and quite soft. Yeah, so this is current favorites, sunscreen slash makeup because it's taken the place of my makeup. Alright, still in Italy, I have a new favorite bag. This is from Bevini Moderna. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I use this to death. Right, so this is one of the brands that I actually had the chance to go down to their workshop and see them handmake all these bags. It's one of my favorite brands from Italy, artisanal brands. So if you guys want to shop any of these brands, please do follow me on Kaki Live. I'm gonna put the link down, alright? That's facebook.com/KAKILIVE. So that's where I do all my live streams, and this is a brand where we live stream this brand. A lot of these brands don't actually do international shipping. Some of them they do, but it's very expensive. Alright, so this has like a drawstring. I feel like I'm live selling this, but I'm not. Alright, this is not for sale, guys. Alright, this is my personal piece. So there's a drawstring, so everything closes nice and clean shut. And it's got this like rattan on the front with 100% calfskin leather on the back. There's a bamboo handle. I love it. I really love it. You can see that says made in Italy, and that's the brand Bevini. So this is one of the brands that I really like. And I'm not really a bag kind of person, but this is like literally my current favorite bag because it goes with everything. I'll say just be careful when you wear it with jeans. I try not to wear it with denim just because I don't want it to rub off, and that's a problem for any light colored bag. But otherwise, yes, love this. I actually have a favorite book. I've got a few books that I've gone through in these few months. Some I've read, some I listen to as audiobooks, simply because, especially when I'm on the go, audiobooks kind of really keep me entertained. And I don't know, it's like my favorite way to wind down after a long day, especially when we were traveling like in Italy and stuff. I would read a lot, and so one of the books that I read that I really liked was The Social Animal by David Brooks. So this guy, I really stumbled upon this book. I was actually looking for another guy, Robert Brooks, I think. So I found this one by David Brooks instead, and it's called The Social Animal. So it's really cool. He blends a bit of like social psychology, developmental psychology, some politics. He blends it all into this narrative form. And so the protagonists are Harold and Erica, right? And I gotta say that I really am quite a geek about these sort of things. I love psychology and social psychology books. So there's a little bit of both, including, I think he added in almost a little touch of positive psychology in there. Right, so it's quite cool. Like he talked about, like, I think for moms this will be interesting, at least the first part, how like the external factors can really change how a child develops. Right, so there's the developmental psychology part, and then we follow Harold and Erica as they grow up and into their adult years and finally into their twilight years. Right, so it's really like the life cycle and lifespan of a human being, which is very developmental psych, but there's a lot of social psychology as well in terms of how we interact with the world around us, and there's a little bit of positive side as well. So I would say that the story of Harold and Erica was a nice way to make it less dry, and the story was quite well told at the start. At certain points in the middle, we kind of lost a little bit of their narrative. So don't read this as like a narrative storybook, you'll be very disappointed. But if you read it from the point of view knowing that it's going to be a psychology based book, then I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, so yes, the story sometimes doesn't quite work. He's not really a fictional writer, so I think that kind of shows. But in terms of the research and the way he's put it together in a very easy to understand book, I feel for that, yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and I've recommended it to quite a few friends now, and right now I'm going to recommend it to you as well. Alright, so I found a new favorite prawn noodle store. It's called Chaoyang Prawn Noodles, and it's at Toa Payoh Lorong 5, 75 Toa Payoh Lorong 5. That's the longish but very small hawker center that's along Toa Payoh Lorong 5. I used to go there at night to eat the ban mian because it's quite near to my studio where we live stream, so I quite like the ban mian. But there was once I actually went a bit earlier, like about I think maybe 10 plus, and the prawn noodles were still open, so I thought to try it. I ordered the dry version. I usually like the dry version, and oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, I think the soup, because with the dry version they will still give you a little bowl of soup. I think the soup was okay. I found it slightly salty, but the dry version is so good, guys. Like, there's so much lard, so fragrant. The chili that they use in the dry version is so fragrant as well. It's not super spicy. It's just very tasty, very fragrant, not overly salty. Super good. I ordered the prawn noodles with pork rib, my favorite. I always like a good pork rib one. The pork ribs are super duper tender. My gosh, you definitely have to order that version. And yeah, I ordered kway teow mee dry. It was so good. Okay, so you guys have got to try it, but I would say try the dry version. Anyone, if you guys try the soup version, drop a comment and let me know if you think the soup version is good as well. I haven't tried the soup version, so I can't attest to that, but the dry version, definitely worth a try. Finally gonna round up this bunch of favorites with my favorite song. My current favorite song is Potion by Dua Lipa featuring Calvin Harris and Young Thug. And I'm not usually a fan of Dua Lipa's songs. Like, I know she's had a lot of hits. I've always thought her songs are okay, not the sort of songs that I'll put in my favorites playlist, but I don't know, something about this was very catchy, very sexy. Yeah, I don't know, just very chill, vibey. I'm gonna not play this here because I'm scared that my video will get taken off. You know, YouTube is very difficult like that. But it's really really breezy. Like, it's the right mix of like breezy and dancey without being annoying. And yeah, super catchy, super nice driving song, but also a nice skating song. So go check it out. Alright, so those are my favorites for this month, possibly much of this year. Again, I'm so sorry guys, I'm gonna try to do this more regularly, but let's just do what we can, okay? We're all kind of struggling, keeping up with life, struggling, trying our best, so I know you'll understand. Drop me a line below, let me know if you have any favorites for the month. If you have any favorites for the month, any favorite books, movies, songs, food, beauty products, fashion products that you like, drop me a line, let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch up with you on Facebook and on Instagram. Remember to follow me on Kaki Kaki Live as well if you guys want to shop any of like those cool things that I find on my travels. Okay, catch you guys hopefully very soon. See ya. Bye. I can't make the usual bye sound that I usually do because my voice